Good morning. It's a beautiful day. Regardless of what's going on around, it's a beautiful day. I'm so grateful to be here with you guys. And I just want to say, when you're here, just let me know that you're here live. And if you have not given StreamYard permission to see your contact information, then make sure you let me know who you are in the comments, because otherwise it just says Facebook user or something like that. And then I don't know who I'm talking to. And I'm going to um, just share a little bit about me and why this is important to me, to be here with you guys, just very quickly. Well, I have been a health coach, a life coach, a transformational coach, and then a hypnotist for a few years now. And some are I've been doing longer than others. And the thing that has happened in the past year or so is that I've really started really getting connected with the people that I serve. And it is so, so important to me to give as much as I can and to help make people's lives better. And just recently, I pivoted a lot with who I was speaking to, although I still speak to a lot of people about a lot of things. But my main focus now is people that are having a difficulty in their life, and it's a limiting belief or something that's kind of holding them back. Sometimes it's just fear of the unknown. I've had a few people that I've worked with that have had extraordinary results, and in learning how much that affected their life, not just from the moment that we were working on and with hypnosis and coaching, what was really powerful was that it still radiated in their life in other ways. And so I got really intrigued with, how that works. And I want to make lasting change for people. And hence the name of the group that I have on Facebook. It's Make Lasting Change, because, people can change, very quickly if they choose to. However, we go back into the old habits and start reverting back. And I just had a conversation with someone the other day that had hypnosis with me and had extraordinary results from one session. And then she got busy, she was traveling, all these different things. And so she ended up where she started reverting back to her old behaviors because we only did that one hypnosis, and she didn't keep doing the things that we had talked about doing. And it's really easy to fall back into those old habits if you don't take the time to create the new ones. And my goal is to help as many people as possible that are, maybe struggle's not the right word, but maybe they're kind of a little apprehensive about something in their life and they want to be able to conquer or move through something with confidence and relaxing peace, whether that's someone who is wanting to do a TED talk and not sure how to um, be in front of the people and be more relaxed. Maybe it's someone that is going to networking events and can't seem to go up and talk to people, and gets very, very anxious about people coming up and talking to them. Those are just two examples of some clients that I've worked with recently and have had extraordinary results and that have gone into other areas of their life. I've worked with people with stop smoking and with weight loss and test anxiety and just being locked and not knowing a decision to go forward in their life. And I've helped with that too. So there are so many different ways that hypnosis helps. So no matter what you're going through, you're welcome to reach out and we can have a conversation to see if it's something that I can help you with. And I will say it probably is. However, if you're not part of the Make Lasting Change group, maybe that is an answer right now, is to become part of the group. And interact, we encourage each other. I do a live every Monday specifically just for that group, where we touch on a lot of amazing different subjects, and we celebrate the things that people are doing in the group, and we encourage each other. And it is just amazing. And just by being live in the group creates this energy that you can feel, and that actually can create a lot of change in your life that you're wanting, because collectively we can change so much. It's amazing. So if you want to be part of the group and you're not currently, just go to vickypoole.com, VICKIEPOOLE.com, and ask to join the group, and make sure that you do answer the questions when prompted, because if you don't answer the questions, you are not admitted into the group. And the reason for that is it shows your level of desire to be in the group, and it helps to keep this as a safe environment for everybody. And everybody can feel comfortable with being vulnerable and just being open and talking. And there are times that someone has asked to be part of the group, and maybe for some reason they hit something and it just put them in, and they did not answer the questions. And so, or maybe they thought they answered the questions and they didn't. And those people I will always reach out to and say, hey, in order for you to be in the group, you need to answer these questions. So please go back in and do that. And some people do, and some people don't. And those that do are now part of the group, and those that don't are still sitting in the queue awaiting their entry. And I tell you that because I want to make sure that you, if this is something that you want to be part of the group and make this lasting change, and the directions and all the different things that we're doing, just be part of it. It's amazing. Then I want to reiterate to answer the questions so that you can be entered into the group ASAP. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share the affirmation for today. And sorry, let me take a sip of my coffee. The affirmation for today is, I live in harmony with the universe. And so you can also say, I live in harmony with God and His Word. Whatever really resonates with you, because I don't want to alienate anybody. And for me, it is God and the universe, because I feel like the universe is part of God. It's not just out there all by itself. And so that works for me. So I live in harmony with God and the universe. And so what does that mean? That means to me, and I would love to hear from you guys of what that means for you. And while I'm remembering, I want you to make sure when you watch the replay that you put #replay, and when you share your picture of your affirmation or your journal prompt or anything like that in the group, to make sure you put #peachy vibes, and you can let this be part of your self-care for the day if that's what you choose. But remember, every day we post about our self-care so that we encourage other people to do the same. And sometimes somebody will post a self-care item, and it's like, myself, I'll think, ooh, that's a good one. I haven't thought about that. And so if that happens to me, I know it happens to a lot of people as well. So make sure you're sharing, share, because you're not only helping yourself and alerting your subconscious mind that you do what you say you're going to do, it also helps other people to come on board with sharing as well, and realizing that there are other ways of doing things. All right, so back to, I live in harmony with God and the universe. And the thing that is interesting is that if we're in a life that we're not happy with, if we're in a life that feels like it's a constant struggle, then there is something that we're not in harmony with. And only you can figure that out. I can't figure that out for you, especially right here. I will say that taking some time to spend with your thoughts So if you're not a person that does meditation or just sits quietly for a period of time, then you're kind of missing out on an amazing opportunity to connect with God in the universe. And so, what I would recommend, and I don't know what the journal prompt is. Let's see what the okay. So I just wanted to check really quick. Am I telling you the journal prompt? Um, so the thing that I would recommend is you to start for the next what do we got? Another week of the month, basically. Yeah, we got another week. So for the rest of February, every single day, I implore you to take some moments to just sit in silence or to do a meditation. Now, I don't mean do a recorded meditation. Those are great, but for this, I want you to be able to listen to the voices that are coming to you, okay? So I want you to sit in silence. And whether that is 10, 15, 20 minutes, I know time is a very valuable commodity. And so let's utilize our time as best we can, because this is going to really make a difference in what shows up for you. And it will give you so much clarity if you learn to listen. And it takes it takes a while. So normally it takes 21 days to create a new habit, right? Now with hypnosis we can do it a lot quicker. um and I would say for right now, let's just look at the rest of the month to do this and just journal and see what comes up for you. So when I say take some time for silence, set a timer. What I do is I set the timer on my phone for, 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever I have time for. Sometimes I'll do 30 minutes, and sometimes it's a stretch, but sometimes I'll even do an hour. It just depends. And then once you set the timer, you just sit and you just relax. And the thing that happens is your conscious mind is going to start telling you what's itching or what you need to move, or it's going to tell you, oh, this is silly. I need to go do this. My stomach's growling. I'm hungry. And it's going to tell you a lot of things. And so when that happens, I want you to notice that you're thinking those thoughts and to stop and say, that's okay. Right now, I'm just going to focus on my breath and I'm going to listen to God's voice. And then you go back to focusing on your breath. Now, this is a practice that takes a little bit of time, because if you're not a person that's been taking these silent times, then your conscious mind is going to be telling you all kinds of stuff. And the reason I'm telling you to stop your thoughts and say, it's okay, let me focus on my breath. It's not that you become numb or you're silent and you're void or whatever. It's that now you're actually think you're doing this on purpose. So you're stopping that monkey mind, that chatter in your head, and saying, I'm open to hearing God's voice in my head. I'm open to hearing what the universe wants me to know, right? And if you can just kind of relax into that and surrender to it's okay for all of this to be happening, just come back to your breath. And what I will do is I will say, okay, breathe. And then I'll start counting my breaths. Or I will start just saying, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And as I'm doing that, that's when these thoughts that will come to me of things that I feel is God's voice saying, you're doing good with this. Maybe think about this. And when I finish this 15, 20 minutes, whatever the time frame is, good morning, Kimmy, whatever that time frame is, I will get my journal and I can write out things. And I write out anything that came to me when I got quiet inside. Even if, you can tell the difference in the monkey chatter in your mind telling you, oh, my head's itching. I'm hungry. I probably should be going and doing that email. What am I doing? What was on that show yesterday? There are so many things, and you can recognize that that's just the monkey chatter, right? And so, Kimmy, I'm just curious: do you do meditations in the mornings? And thank you for being here, by the way, live. I love it. I love it. So while I'm waiting to see what her response is, I will say that if you do this practice every day through the rest of the month, you're going to really be surprised at the things that you have journaled and written down. And in the beginning, it could be still part you don't. Okay. Well, what I'm talking about is starting a practice just for the rest of this month where you pick a time, and I like doing first thing in the morning, or when I get through with this. If I have time, I do it then. So I really try to do it before I do anything else, is to take 10, 15, 20 minutes and just sit in silence and a mini study in the morning. Okay. Well, then after your mini study or before your mini study, take about 10, 15 minutes and just sit in silence. And as I was describing a moment ago, the thing that really helps is because in the beginning, when you're doing this, if you're new to it, what happens is you start fidgeting and feeling there's an itch, or you start thinking about what do you want to have for breakfast, or I'm hungry, or I should be doing something else. And your monkey mind will start giving you all kinds of directions to go in. And when that happens, which we know it will, you just catch yourself and stop and say, okay, wait a minute. Those are just my monkey mind talking to me. I'm listening to God's voice. So let me concentrate on my breath. And then you can count your breaths, or like I said a moment ago, I just go breathe in, breathe out, and I talk to myself about the breath. And then as I'm doing that, the mind chatter will start again, and then I'll go back to it. And what I find is that in amongst that, trying to listen to my breath and focus on my breath and the monkey chatter and everything, I will get some kind of idea of something, some type of direction, even if it's you're doing good, girl, keep going, no matter what it is. And then after you finish, when your timer goes off, then you just write out anything that came to you. And each day you do this, there's going to be more and more that comes to you. And so commit to doing it for the full month. And really, I would love it if at the end of the month you said, this is really powerful stuff, and I'm going to continue to do this. And go back and look at your journals, the things that you have come to you in this process. So I live in harmony with the universe, and this is one of the ways you can live in harmony with the God and the universe by actually focusing on hearing the sound, the voice that comes to you when you are surrendering to the process and quieting all that chatter that goes on in your head so that you can hear the voice of God, the voice of the universe. All right, so now let's get to the journal prompt. And I want to share as I get into sharing the journal prompt, but I want to share real quick. We are such creatures of habit, right? And I've talked about this many times. And we have become such a slave to our phones and that connection, right? And I don't know who else is having this morning, but I'm going to go ahead and share. But AT&T, Verizon, and there's another one I can't remember that has had a massive outage, and across the nation, right? And so I cannot call anybody. Nobody can call me. I can text. And I discovered this morning that because I have a person that I connect with every Thursday morning, we have a conversation, and we encourage each other. We empower each other with new thoughts. And it's an amazing conversation. And we've been doing this for quite a long time. And it's so, so amazing. And this morning, I couldn't call her. It was like it would, on my end, it didn't ring, it didn't do anything, but I could just see the little thing, saying it was calling her and never could reach her. Uh, okay, so you may not be having that problem. But I ended up thinking, wait a minute, she's a friend of mine on Facebook. Let me see if I can Facebook call her. I was able to do that. And I reached out to my sister because we talk every morning. And it's amazing that I have a sister that I talk to every morning. Oh, did you? Okay, cool. And so I reached out to my sister, couldn't call her either. And I think they have Verizon. I have AT&T. And she said that her husband's phone at the very top, it says, what does it say? Oh, heck. SOS. It says SOS at the top. And that's what mine says. And so I can't connect to people on my phone. And I have two phones. I have one for my salon and one of my personal. So that means my salon clients can't call me, even if they have a landline or anything like that, they can't reach me. And so it was like suddenly, oh my gosh, I am so attached to this device that I've just knowing that I can't pick up the phone and call somebody, just like, oh my gosh. And that is amazing to think about because, until I realized that I couldn't call them, I didn't feel any of that. And I couldn't call them, but I didn't know, right? And so, how connected do you feel to God and the universe? How do you feel connected to the universe and its harmony, right? So, maybe you're not utilizing the connection that you have in the best possible way. And I know that's a little bit of a different segue into that. And I wasn't really even intending that. I was just sharing. And then all of a sudden I thought, well, when we're connected to God and to the universe, and we go into that silence of connection, then that chatter that we hear that gets us away from listening to the voice of God and the universe is us knowing that the phone is not allowing us to make the call, right? So if we will step away from that and just surrender that I'm open to hearing the voice, the connection to the universe and its harmony, I'm open to all that. Then I want you to journal a little bit about how do you feel connected to the universe and its harmony? How does that show up for you? What can you do to be more connected? And like I said, one thing that you can start doing today is to sit in the silence of listening. And as I said in the beginning, it's not always easy because we're wanting immediate gratification for most of the things that we do. That's just the nature of the way that the world has become. And so it is kind of relaxing into the silence and relaxing into the voice is there. I just have to listen. And as I've talked about before, it's like when you're going to buy a new car and you never see this car on the road hardly at all. But now that you're focused on it and you buy that car, suddenly they're everywhere. I know that happened to me. I bought a Prius, and before I bought the Prius, I saw very few of them. I really didn't know that much about them, but I was intrigued with it. And once I bought it, hell, sometimes I would go to the grocery store and suddenly they'd be parked all around me. And so it's interesting how it actually connects us to the vibration, right? So I'm saying that Abby, as you're going through, what in the world is happening to this thing? Okay, I get that way too. I too wanted to know why the outage was caused. You're right. I need to calm my monkey mind, especially at work. I feel connected to God is through cloud watching and nature. Ah, perfect. Oh, and line dancing was awesome. Ah, I can't wait to hear more about that because I don't even know that there's any place around here that actually does that anymore. Because there used to be some country and western places that would do that periodically, and I've done it a few times, but it's been years ago. But anytime you can get out and interact with people and do something like that, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that, Kimmy, and thank you for sharing. I don't know why this happened with the outage. And really, it doesn't matter why. It is what it is. And, figuring out how that can strengthen us in some way. And maybe the thing that this has done has taught us that we need to have other ways of communicating with the people that we want to communicate with. Because if it happens again, what do we do? And because I never would have thought this would happen at all. And now that it has, it's kind of given me a little more food for thought. And so as we're experiencing something, if we look at it as, what is this supposed to help me do? What is this supposed to help me learn? And then go from there. So when you take the time to, I was back to the the car analogy, right? Because we're focused on the car, we now have that car, and we're focused on it. It actually will recognize it more in our environment. So when you start focusing on taking some silent time, and I mean silent time, so no music playing, no audio program that you're listening to, silence, and focus on something. Like, one of the things that I'll share. I agree. I say, bring back the payphones and landlines. Yeah, yeah, definitely. You couldn't find a payphone if you wanted to, right? They're nowhere anymore. So we're kind of stuck. And I do have some clients that still have landlines, but I haven't had a landline in years. I started discovering that the only people that were calling me on the landline was telemarketers. And I thought, why am I paying to have a telemarketer communication? So that's why I got rid of it. But one of the things that I do, and I learned this a while back, and I can't remember the group that I was working with at the time. But when I sit down and I do the silence, when I start focusing sometimes not on just my breath, but I focus on a sound that I hear. So I will say, okay, I hear the ceiling fan, and I'll listen to the ceiling fan. And I have like this copper bowl that is in my entryway, and it has these little copper chimes that go around and around. It's like a little fountain, and it pushes these chimes around. And as they hit these other little copper bells, it chimes. So it's like ding, ding. And it's so relaxing. I love it. And so it's going all the time. And so sometimes when I'm sitting down, I will focus on the sound of those chimes, or the feel of my breath, and I'll count the breath, or the sound of like if there's a lawnmower or something going outside, I'll even focus on, there's the sound of the lawnmower, and I'll focus on that. And then it's like, just by taking and focusing my direction on a sound or my breath, silences some of the monkey chatter, so that I can actually hear what God's voice or the universe is trying to tell me. And so the thing that I would ask you to do today is make a decision that you're going to go ahead and do this affirmation of living in harmony with the universe. And this is how you're going to begin to listen to the sound of God's voice and the universe, by taking time for silence every day. And if it feels so out of reach to do 15 or 20 minutes, do 10. Start with 10. Or heck, if you have to, start with 5. I had one client one time that when I was telling her to do this, she couldn't find any time to do it. So finally I said, okay, I know you're busy, but you go to the bathroom every single day. So the next time you go to the bathroom, I want you to set a timer. And I don't care if you're standing there to wash your hands, or if you're using the bathroom, or you're putting on your makeup, whatever you're doing, I want you to just take a moment for 5 minutes with the timer and just sit in silence. And in the beginning, that's all she could do, was that 5 minutes. in the bathroom. And then that would stretch into 10 minutes. And after a while, it got where she could sit in a chair for 15 minutes. And then it was 30 minutes. And then she actually started taking some day trips to where she went somewhere and immersed herself in taking care of herself and taking some silence. And it morphed into this amazing thing that she does. And so I ask you, whatever it is that you can do, start there and just imagine how it's going to change your life by getting in tune to that God voice, the voice of the universe, and seeing what magic lies in there. And make sure you're doing your journals too. So your affirmation, put it on your sticky note, put it on an index card, put it on the mirror with a chalk marker, put it on your screensaver on your phone. Just put it somewhere so that you are seeing that. And then after you have your moment of silence or your 5 moments of silence or your 10, 15, 20, whatever it is, after you have your silent time, I want you to take your journal out and just journal whatever comes up. And there is a gentleman that he calls it automatic writing, but he actually has a script that you put and all that stuff. And I don't really want you to do all of that. I just want you to sit, relax, and hear that voice, that sound, those ideas. And it's not like, now, somebody may actually hear a voice, but it's not like suddenly you hear this voice in your head that says, okay, you're doing good. That's not what it is. It's all of a sudden you'll hear yourself saying, you've got this. That's the God voice. And you can hear the things and you can understand what is being brought to you, right? And make sure that you write it down, because writing it down actually activates more of your subconscious mind, actually brings forth these ideas and these thoughts so much more effectively when you're using your pen and you're writing, so that you can just kind of brain dump and write down everything that came to mind. Even the things that was like, I don't think that was God's voice, that was mine. It doesn't matter. Put it all down. And then you can look at it later. And you will find that each day that you do this, there may be some things that come back up over time. And make sure you really look at those. Is that something that God's saying, this is what I want you to work on now? This is what I want you to think about. This is what I want you to do. And you have to discern for yourself and go into prayer and just ask, okay, I've written all these things down and I still don't understand. Help me to understand. All you have to do is ask, right? All right. So I'm going to stop there today. And thank you again, Kimmy, for being here. I so appreciate you. And like I said, share in the group, if you will, what about your what was it you said about the line dancing and everything? Yes, make sure that you post that in the group and share with everybody. And the things that other people will share after that will be amazing. But I want to hear more about that. And I will be posting in the group as well, because I think I have a date and time set up for our watch party. And so I'm looking forward to it. But I will be posting and putting all of the information there. And but I'm not sure I'll be doing it today. It may be tomorrow, because I've got quite a busy day, and I still have to, or I don't still have to, I still choose to sit and have my my time with the God voice, right? Oh, okay, yay. Yeah, I'll definitely send me videos, or heck, share those in the group and let's everybody look at them. Because that'll be so much fun. So are these videos of you in the dance or the dances that you were practicing? I don't know. Let's see. Is it the you in the dance, or is it a video of what you're practicing? Let's just see. What is it? Practicing. Ooh, okay, okay. I can't wait to see. All right. And so, for anybody that wants to be part of this amazing group, Make Lasting Change, for one last time, I want to say go to vickypoole.com, VICKIEPOOLE.com, and answer the questions. And then you will be admitted into the group and you can share with the rest of us. Thank you. Thank you, Kimmy. And I can't wait to see the videos, and you can send them privately if you want and put them in the group, because I'm anxious to see what they are. Oh, this is delicious. All right. So you have an amazing, blessed day, and I will see you tomorrow. What is tomorrow? Tomorrow's right. Oh, tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Be blessed. Mwah.